Alright, hello
Hello
everyone, welcome.
and welcome to the Overwatch Oasis League. My name is Charles, joined tonight by Sleep Shake and Mr. Cinnamon Biscuit. How are we doing, folks?
Doing pretty good. How about you? How about you?
I'm okay. I want to give a warm welcome to Sleep Shake actually for joining us this evening. I believe it's their first time on the desk with us. How you doing, Sleep Shake? So tonight we are bringing you a matchup between Spellbound Tengus and Taterbots here in Week 4 of the Overwatch Oasis League. And what's super interesting here is that both teams searching for their first win of the season. Both of them falling short in Week 1, and then a couple bye weeks later. This is all they've played so far, so looking to make some bounds here. Um, and you know, our return viewers are going to know that this is a little bit of a slow burn for both these teams. Bit of a lot of change-ups in the offseason. Spellbound Tango is a completely new team. The previous synergy there, of course, a lot of former Diving Phoenix and C9 players from those Tier 3 rosters. We can recognize Take the Strap, we can recognize Bambi, and then, of course, up towards the higher SR that we have Bunny dropping down for Tier 1 on some, I believe, actually, they are eligible in all three roles actually, but having a high SR leadership figure on the side of Spellbound Tengus is going to be massively helpful. And on the flip side, Taterbots are an org that we're familiar with and we have known about for a couple seasons now, but a lot of change up recently. This is a team that has a mix of Tier 1 and Tier 3 talent. It's a fairly new roster. I believe Polish and Rage here, the only kind of leftovers from last year's roster, and it's going to be really interesting to see how they push forward here.
Yeah, for sure. I've done a couple of their games already, and I can say with great confidence that this is gonna be a banger, I should say. All the teams here, they're no joke. These guys know what they're doing. They're pretty dang good, I should say.
Looking forward to it.
With that.
Just want to confirm, Sleep Shake, are you in the lobby with us?
Not yet. Let's see. I think I have to. Do I have to leave the group first?
No, you should just be able to accept the invite to join the lobby itself.
Okay. I've accepted it twice, but it won't pull me in.
Could you leave the group and we'll invite you again then?
Sure, I'll try that.
Thank you.
I'm just swapping them around, see where they go. Oh, there you are, Sleep Shake. Move them to spectate.
Perfect. And just a little bit of a delay here as we wait for some readies to come out. Wait for some lineups to be posted as Sleep Shake is back with us. If you missed it, around an hour, maybe 90 minutes ago, we had a Widow 1v1 between Hydra and Prophetic to declare the true supreme leader of the Overwatch Talk channel. I believe Hydra came out on top here. Hello, Sean the Ginger. How you doing? Just spent last night commentating your game, my friend. Congratulations on the win. So we're coming into this game in a new era of Overwatch Oasis, where we have a supreme leader and a chancellor dictator, admiral general, in the Overwatch Talk segment. So Hydra will be handing out bans as they see fit.
Alright, almost done. Wait, who is there?
Nice, Sean, repeat viewer, double dipping on the Overwatch Oasis content here. Fantastic, love to see it. I was informed that was happening like 20 minutes before it happened, and like Bleem, Gaming Kirby, and I had to sit around and figure out the format like on the spot because Hydra and Prophetic One, all they wanted to do was shoot each other and they didn't care how it happened, so it was kind of up to us to figure out. But I'm glad we made it work. It was kind of scuffed. We kind of had to throw that together. Tonight might be a little scuffed because your cameraman and your lobby host was supposed to be Wukong actually, but his power went out. around an hour ago. It hasn't come back yet, so Cinnamon Biscuit stepped in here, plugged the gap as lobby host, and I will be running your cameras. I'm also your play-by-play caster, so it might get a little messy. But a scuffed cast is exactly what we need here, I feel. Right? Like, if we're hovering at like 25, 30 viewers, CB, like, the more being scuffed is like is a lot of character at this level, I feel.
Oh yeah, for sure.
It's just a
Being
bit of
like
a charm.
100% nothing but scuff. There's
Perfect.
something about it that's just oof, chef kiss.
Yeah, Sleep Shake, we'll need you to make up some ad reads on the spot. Just pick whatever company you think sponsors us. We'll have a good time.
This
Sounds good to
stream is
me.
sponsored by Raid Shadow Legends.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah, that's perfect. Let me see. Okay, we have the starting roster. For I believe Spellbound. Yeah, we have their starting roster. And then yep, we got the roster for the other team as well. For
On
Tater
the side of
Tots.
Spellbound, looks like Bullet Dodgers and Chipmunk are going to line up here on the tank line. If I'm not mistaken, that's what they pulled out on their debut here in the Overwatch Oasis League. So a tank line that's going to now have a game under their belt, looking to swing back even stronger. On the DPS lineup, Polish and Aiden are two familiar names as well. Sorry for the Tater bots. I'm getting my teams mixed up. I believe, if I'm not mistaken, Polish is one of the few members remaining from last year's Taterbots roster. And we've seen Aiden around in the league before. Moving down to the support lineup, it looks like it's going to be Maka and Kuro here. Kuro's super active in Stream Team, keeping things ticking along. And Maka, I believe, is one of the new leadership figures in the team. I think they are one of the captains here. If I'm not, chat, let me know if I'm wrong. I do lie all the time, so let me know if I am just pulling facts where the sun don't shine. Uh, but it will be super interesting to see how this lineup continues to gel. And now I believe first map. This, could you remind me what the map pool is, CB?
You really called me out. Let me give that a quick look, actually, because I have no idea either.
Yeah, let's take a look.
Yeah, I need to do the settings anyways for that.
On the side of Spellbound Tengus, it looks like Bunny and Bambi are going to be starting on the tank line. Bunny, of course, a defending champion of Tier 1 here in the Overwatch Oasis League, the captain of Blank Assassins from last season. We weren't able to get a Tier 1 going this season, but Rabbit Bunny has a lot of experience at the very highest level of Overwatch here. Bambi played a pivotal role in Diving Phoenix's success all through their Tier 3 adventure, so it's really exciting to see them make that step up. And Skrillex and Honey Biscuits, I'm going to be honest, I really don't know much about Skrillex, but I have been terrorized by Honey Biscuits over and over again in scrims and in games as their hits, their long-range hit scan and sniper prowess is something that we're all very familiar with, and I can personally say that I have been on the receiving side of some pretty nasty flick shots, and I've definitely had to discuss with the team. We've gone into maps being like, okay, Honey Biscuits is in. How do we make sure we don't get our heads taken off right out of spawn? So I'm extremely happy to see them make the step forward into Tier 2. I know they were a runner-up, I believe, in Tier 3. I believe they, I'm mistaking them with Take the Strap. But yeah, Honey Biscuits, a long record of success and terror
Sorry about that.
here in the Overwatch Oasis League. As we head into Ilios, Steve should talk us through Ilios and what to expect here.
You gotta love the opening maps on a controlled point. Really gives a lot of flexibility to the teams to open up some compositions, and I'm really looking forward to see what compositions they bring out. Will we see some Pharah on Well? Will we see some Symmetra on Lighthouse? Who knows?
Yeah, the sim on Lighthouse is going to be exciting. We saw that last night coming out. In that Rogue Knights game, now we're just waiting for readies to come through. CB asked for them, keep an eye out for them. as we are headed into Ilios now. We got some suggestions in chat. Sean would like to see some Paris going. Nation saying hi to Wegsy. Wegsy, really vocal supporter of Taters here, a former, if I'm not mistaken, the former captain of Tater bots, if I'm reading my cheat sheet correctly. I know that a big motivation here on the side of Tater bots is that they do want to come back and defeat their former captain. Bit of a no love lost there, bit of some friendly competition. Tater bots have also made it really clear that they are aiming to be honestly pretty strong this season. They finished last in the former season in season 4, but coming in here, we're hearing some pretty bullish predictions. Tater bots have a lot of confidence internally that they're going to do well this season.
Looks like Bunny got DC'd, and they will be right back.
You know, you gotta love that though. You gotta love that type of commentary. Finishing last in league is not an easy thing to go through, and you gotta love the motivation to come back and climb up that ladder.
We have Sean the Ginger. Yeah, thank you so much. I do have a big loaf of bread. Contrary to popular belief, I'm not a baker, but I did buy it with my bare hands. Shout out to When Pigs Fly here in Boston for some of the best bread in the world. Korean wannabe. You know what? I will give you a compliment. Chat, let's give a big round of applause to Korean for hitting Diamond on Tank last night. Korean was originally planning on playing Tank in Tier 3 and decided, no, I'll hit Diamond instead. So really proud of you, Korean, as someone that was planning on being your teammate. Really happy that you made that mistake to climb to Diamond. I am not upset at you at all. So congratulations, everybody. Once again, big round of applause. If we can actually at Korean wannabe in chat and say, hey, Korean, congrats on Diamond. We won't see you in Tier 3. That would be fantastic. Sean the Ginger chiming in already. Thank you so much. Nation as well. Show this man some love. Korea making it work. And Bunny is still disconnected, I believe. Just waiting a second here. I know servers are going through some maintenance yesterday, and thanks to those server problems, I'm now here filling time to the best of my ability, and I'm running out of words. But we should be good to go here. It does look like Bunny is now back in the lobby, and we will just get a new round of readies coming in. And we will jump right in.
The suspense is killing me.
Yeah, same. You gotta love Ilios though. This is one of those maps where it's just it's one of those where it's just boop central, you know. Except for really ruins. Ruins is just kind of you run your Widow or you run your hit scan and try to take sightlines, but the rest of the maps I love but also hate playing. Okay, we got the readies, but yeah, it's just one of those things where it's just boop after boop after boop, and it's hilarious to watch.
Yep. You can always expect some chaos on a control map.
Alright, Chad, I do have to warn you, it's one of my first times running the cameras here, so if there's any scuffness going on, please let me know. Heading into Ilios, we are headed into Lighthouse, Sleep Shake.
Yeah, it's a great first map. Let's take a look and see what kind of compositions these two teams come out with.
We know we've seen a lot of Symmetra strats here to take control of the Lighthouse. We know teams like to make that work. We see a lot of Lucio boops, of course, given how many environmental kills we can get off. And Kuro, Nyanaboost, and Pop-Tart here are going to look to make that pick work. Just waiting for the tank line confirmations to come on in before we can wildly speculate about what we're going to see.
Ready for battle.
We do see that Symmetra may being teased. That's going to be interesting. If you don't take control of that initial first point here, it just all goes downhill, and you just kind of force the swap, and it sets you back in the ult economy. But I mean, if it works, it works, and it's really hard to break it after that. So they're going for the gamble, it seems. So we'll see how that pays out.
Yeah, just spending some time
Absolutely.
here with Aiden and the teleporter with the gold symmetric gun, going to commit to it, not just something to get it to spawn quickly. Not going to use it to get to the lighthouse though, interestingly enough, as it looks like Taterbot chooses to walk right on the point, and Bunny gets the first pick here. Kuro going down nice and early here in this series. Rabbit Bunny is walled off though. Great wall coming up from Polish to make that work. Bullet Dodgers getting stuff done here for the Taterpods. Aiden getting a kill as well. Taterpods looking pretty settled on the point right now, and it looks like Spellbound and Tengus are going to have to let this drop for now, Sleepshake.
Well, Taterbots did what they had to do. They got onto the point first. They established their sim turrets.
Honey Biscuits on this high ground, you're able to rain out a lot of damage, and Polish is going to be able to snap over with the headshot. That is projectile versus hit scan, and the Mei is going to win out, surprisingly enough. Great work here from Polish to recognize that threat of Honey Biscuits uncontested on that high ground, and instead of just doing what Meis do best and walling people off, to just go for an alt fire and take that Ash's head off. The Bob is online though, and Skrillex is now over onto the Pharah with the Pop-Tart pocket.
Ain't nothing scarier than a good Mei, just able to click heads, and of course that, like I said, Symmetra able to take control of that point. It's just set up so cleanly. I mean, you have to run this far at this point. It's just going to be so hard to break otherwise.
Alright, so we see the Bob being committed here, and it looks like the wall is going to be out here. Aiden with the barrier ready to go to keep everybody alive, but it's too little too late to keep themselves alive. Taterbot still in control of the point here, though, as it looks like we have a Polish coming back from spawn. A Nano Boost is going to come out onto Bullet Dodges as Maka is being taken down as well. A big shatter coming out, and it is Bambi on the ground, but Bullet Dodges is going to pay for that arrogance of rocking out from Bunny, just barely missing Polish, and Polish is going to be able to stay alive here through that assault, and the point is still on the side of Taterbots, unable to get control. He's Spellbound Tengus struggling to make their presence felt, and now it's Aiden fully charged up and ready to go. That zip beam so deadly, getting so much work done, and Bunny is going to get that slam canceled. The flux is unable to work. Aiden being taken from Honey Biscuits over here, who is surviving on so little health, trying to make the point work, and they finally do cap with 94% on the clock here, Sleep Shake.
Yeah, Spellbound, you know, I'll be honest, I was a little concerned as to what the plan was to overtake the point running double shield in the pharmacy, but I gotta hand it to them. They showed a lot of patience, they worked nice and slow, and they got the picks and eventually took the point. It was a great job, great work.
CB, we have the barrage getting ready on the side of Skrillex here.
Yeah, the barrage is going to be very huge, and there it is, like I said, but it's taken out with the
Finally, double kill here. Both teams are even. Skrillex making it work, and Pop-Tart is there with the resurrection. That is the opening that they needed, but it might be too little too late. Taterbots are going to reclaim control of the point, and not a lot of bodies online here for Spellbound Tengus, but we do have the Orisa of Bambi continuing to make their presence felt here, and a lovely move is going to come up from Kuro. Nano Boost straight off the map. Bambi gets deleted as well, and it's just going to be Skrillex left on point here, unable to touch, and CB a 128 map here to open up our series.
Yeah, that was super brave by Tater Thoughts to just stick on this comp, because, like I said, as soon as you lose point, it's really hard to take control, but they made it work somehow, and credit to them where it's due. It's such a brave decision to do that, and it just paid off. Great job. Nothing else to say, but it was a bit of a misplay by Spellbound by not just coordinating. They should have known that the TP was coming and should have prepared for it a little better, but you know, that's how it goes.
Yeah, I think it just took them a little too long to get going for Spellbound. They executed what they needed to do when they had the chance, but it just took a little too long.
We see Skrillex continuing to stay on this far right here, going to be able to get so much work done. Polish matching with the Echo, so we have some flight abilities on both sides here. And Biscuits is going to be absolutely massive, keeping Polish in check with the Ash, the hit scan. But we notice they're so comfortable, they do get taken down nice and early on. Polish is able to make that pick work here on the Echo. The Echo, of course, so good for getting spam damage out. Bullet Dodge is going to be take down a Bunny as well. Looks like a bit of a Sigma diff here as a Bambi is forced to back up. Bullet Dodge is going to take down Pop Chart as well. CB, a great start for the Tater bots.
Yeah, when Echo gets free reign and is just able to run around and act a fool with no hit scan to keep him in check, it's scary. They do so much DPS with the sticky bombs, the spam coming from the the primary fire, and then of course the beam, the focusing beam. There's just so much damage coming out that it's very, very hard to stop unless you find the pick onto them first. So it's gonna be on Honey Biscuits to step it up right here.
And a sleep check. Honey Biscuits now onto the McCree.
Yeah, they came out on the Ashe originally. They did a good job. They had the right idea. They took the high ground to look for that Echo, but unfortunately, Polish was able to come up behind them and assassinate before Honey Biscuits could even see where they were.
Oh my goodness, speaking of Polish over here, on an absolute tear! Might not have showed up on the kill feed here, but I believe Polish was involved in every single one of those eliminations. That fight, the duplication is online, Polish is on fire, no surprises there. A great display on the Echo so far, completely nullifying and just ignoring the threat that is Honey Biscuits on the hit scan. Polish now taking a bit of a detour. Dupe is going to come out onto the Reinhardt and swing away so close to that ult already. Is the Shatter going to land? Not quite yet, but the shield is shattered. The Shatter comes out, finding two. Honey Biscuits goes down. The whole hog is here from Chippa, finding a double kill as well. Taterbots are going to hold on to the point here. Great work here from Polish. I'm just going to keep the camera on them. What a fantastic display so far here from the Taterbots. A real statement of intent.
Absolutely filthy Echo gameplay. I mean, this is just all you can ask for when you see an Echo. Just running around, clicking on people, focusing them down. It's just perfect. This is a masterclass.
Oh no, the flux comes from Bullet Dodgers. I don't know if Spellbound Tengus are going to be able to touch. They are so close to the point, and they do not manage to tag. Honey Biscuits on the McCree was why I hesitated there, because it looked like they were just a roll away, just a couple Jeff Kaplan prayers away from contesting the point and trickling overtime. But it is going to be Taterbot taking the map here, 1-0 ahead in the series here in the Overwatch Oasis. What a dominant display here, CB, on the side of Taterbots.
Yeah, I mean, you gotta give credit to Aiden and Polish there. They just absolutely stepped up to the plate. I mean, of course, the tanks obviously made huge plays with the space that they gave them, with the whole hogs, the shatters. But I mean, just when you look at the kill feed and you look at what's happening, this is just insane.
Yeah, Taterbot seems to they seem to set the tone early, getting to the point early with that Symmetra. That's kind of how the rest of the map went. A lot of those fights were pretty competitive. It just seems that Taterbots were able to implement their game plan. They were just a step ahead every step of the way.
And Sleep Shake, anything you were noticing from Spellbound Tengus that we could do a little bit differently?
It's tough to say. They had good tank combinations, the DPS. Their supports were doing a great job. Like I said, I think they're going to need to be able to start their fights off earlier. They need to set the tempo quicker, faster, and be earlier to the fights.
And what are your thoughts on the tank line? Bambi and Bunny sometimes playing a little bit split, and we've seen Bunny a lot on the Sigma. I know a lot of chat is calling for some Ryan Zarya Brawl to come out. I don't know if that's a playstyle you see being successful here on Eichenwald.
Yeah, that's a good detail. Their tank compositions were pretty good. They ran, the correct matchups. They were running double shield, and they did run a little Ryan Zarya there. But I think you made a good point there. They did seem to be playing a bit disjointed. Didn't seem to have a whole lot of synergy between that tank line, and I think that's what cost them.
Looks like no substitutions coming from Spellbound and Tengus. Of course, Take the Strap here, the only substitution that we have, I believe. Take the Strap, we know they're able to play some hit scan, but it is the Mercy and the other main heals where they excel most. Also, Take the Strap, worth a follow on Twitter. Check her out, folks. On the side of Taterbots, a lot more options here. Sleep Shake with the substitutions, but talk me through Polish's display here. I assume you keep them in.
Yeah, I would say so. I mean, especially you take a look at that last round there. That work on Echo was just fantastic. They were using the kit great. It seemed like they had a hand in every single one of the big fights, the big kills. And like I said, the Spellbound came out correctly. They came out with range. They came out with hit scan. They took high ground. They did everything they needed to do, but Polish was just one step ahead. He snuck up behind him and got the elimination, got the early pick.
And moving on to Eichenwald, what should we be expecting here from any Overwatch team?
Well, here on the first point, of course, the infamous choke under the bridge here on first point, Eichenwald. I would hope to see some Ryan Zarya maybe from the side of Spellbound. They could honestly probably stick to what they were doing, which was working as far as the picks goes. They can run either double shield, they can run the Ryan Zarya, but they are going to have to play a little bit more of some team play between those two tanks if they're going to see success in map number 2.
Looks like we have some substitutions coming in. We have Dabarella now looking to partner Bullet Dodgers here on the tank line. Zero is going to come in for Aiden, and it looks like Rage Quit is going to come in for Polish. Rage Quit, if I'm not mistaken, a stalwart of the team, having been in the Tater bots, a part of the Tater bots org for quite some time now, and Chipmunk coming out will be interesting because I know that Chipmunk is a really important shot caller on the team. That's definitely a motor mouth on that player, so it'll be really interesting to see if other players step up and fill that void. A lot of times teams are electing to play the more vocal and aggressive players on map 1 because they're the ones that are really good in a situation where players are a little nervous, players just kind of need are a little quiet, maybe a little bit doki going in, and just need a vocal presence to kind of fill the void and fill the space there. So good to see Chipmunk putting those skills to work. With readies coming out from both sides, so jumping into Eichenwald now, CB. More Echo, well, the Polish is coming out, but it is a pretty good Echo Far map here, especially for the defending team. So, what are you expecting?
Yeah, you could expect to see that, but I feel like the Hanzo Widow or maybe Hanzo Ashe kind of style is a little bit more reliable on this map. You can even get away with running the Tracer here too. Overall, Pharah isn't a bad pick. I would recommend that over the Echo, but I wouldn't be surprised to see some sort of double hit scan, maybe like a quick get in get out kind of Tracer style coming from any of the teams. And yeah, we do see Zero on the Pharah actually.
Yep. So it looks like there's going to be a double barrier on the defense here of Bambi and Bunny. Bunny is going to stay with that Sigma. Skrillex over onto that Torbjorn as Honey Biscuits is going to roll out on the hit scan of Ashe. So I'm going to assume Pop-Tart's going to end up playing with a Mercy here. You do want to pocket. Nope, it's going to be a Nano Boost going over here. And double barrier coming out from the Tater bots on attack as well.
5, 4, 3.
And supports might be a little late here for Spellbound.
Yeah, that's something you never want to see because ideally if you're scrimming and organized enough, that's never an issue. You know exactly what you're going to run. Zero to team, a couple pot shots here, and just going to join their team here on the main choke. Looking for a couple quick rockets to deny Skrillex any damage from that turret. Taking a super aggressive angle here and going to rain down some damage on Bambi here as they look to wrap around on the right side here. Immortality Field is taken out as well. Kuro helping out Pop-Tart, a really crucial tool out of position already. Honey Business is being taken down by Zero, and Zero is getting so much work that the boop there almost cancels the rest, but Honey Biscuits is back fit and fighting here in the backline. A couple of shots here trying to finish off the Mercy, and second guess is going to go down as well. Honey Biscuits now finally about to rain down some pain, but not before being found out by Rage Quit over here. We see Bunny having to be forced to retract to the bunker over here, and is going to hide and eventually takes up a lot of damage, and Rage Quit is going to end up taking them down. Just Bambi left on point here on that Reinhardt we've seen them play so often for Diving Phoenix, but that tier 3 gameplay clearly not enough for this point of defense here on Eichenwald, as Spellbound and Tengus are going to be able to push, or sorry, Taterbot's going to be able to push forward and take the point at first time of asking. Zero already with the barrage ready to go,
Yeah, a couple things about that fight coming from Spellbound. The immortality was burned so fast that Sigma didn't really get healed, had to back off, and it was only, oh my gosh, Zero!
Zero is there with a super aggressive barrage and getting 2 picks, getting slept for their troubles, but that's a worthy trade in my opinion. Zero not getting super aggressive, raining out so much damage on the tanks. Look at the ult charge, already a third of their way to another barrage, and a great shot over onto the back of Bambi as well. Spellbound Tengus are going to have to keep dropping back here as Zero is relentless, chasing after Biscuits over here as well behind the Biscuits is going to be able to back up into a place of safety. Sleep Shake, something's got to change for Tengus here, right?
Yeah, absolutely. I don't know how much it had to do with the lag a little bit on the supports there, but they just didn't do what they needed to do there on that first choke. They needed to hold them, they needed to hold space, and Taterbots was able to push through that choke like nothing. They took an aggressive angle, and it's been a roll pretty much ever since.
Bambi is going to end up accidentally falling off the map here. Rage Quit here with the high noon, not finding any picks, but doing a lot of damage to Bunny on the Orisa here. Interestingly enough, Orisa is a main tech, so Bunny now switching off onto this role as Bambi is playing the ball here. Honey Biscuits is going to just take a quick bath as well, as a Rage Quit is going to round up with a celebratory flashbang.
Yeah, I did like the Tor pick at the beginning, but it was just the turrets just constantly being destroyed, not being placed in good positions. They just kind of have to swap to this double hit scan to just deal with this Far Mercy, as you can see. It's just, and with so many ults coming out their way, it's just looking like a steamroll at this point.
Ooh, Zero here with the barrage ready to go, but not finding anybody, partly due to Honey Biscuits. Bob getting in the way. Honey Biscuits is going to get the better of that Far, exactly what the hits guns are meant to do. Honey Biscuits dies for the first time this map. The Immortality Field is activated by Kuro, trying to keep everybody alive on the side of Taterbots, but Spellbound Tengus look to be able to finally get control here. Hoppa does end up being taken out, but the res is there. A Flux coming out, not finding anybody, I don't believe, as we're just reaching a little bit of a stalemate here in this fight, as the Matrix comes up from Kuro. Bomb goes to deploy. High Noon is there. Bambi gets deleted, but Savarella as well. Bambi is there with a great set of mines, getting a double kill. Oh, Nano Boost with the Valk as well from the Mercy. Not quite sure if that was super necessary. Just trying to get in a little extra damage here with the Mercy Blaster. The Doc with the Glock. But Spellbound Tengus for the first time this map on Eichenwald are able to stabilize. And CB, we have Zero switching over onto the Junkrat off the Vara here, which I suppose makes sense as they head into Castle, right?
Well, it clearly makes sense after that double mine kill.
Yeah, we have the tire ready to go as well. CB, my question took too long. I didn't get you a chance to analyze before a double came out. Zero here with the tire, taking the tire run over the point here, and nobody's going to be able to contest them. That Junkrat is going to get free reign here, because everybody's going to need to solve the card. The tire comes out, does it find anybody? Yes, it does. It's a double kill. The high noon comes up from Skrillex, getting a pick. Bambi now spinning to win on point here, trying to do so much damage, trying to get so much stolen, but Zero is unstoppable until they're not. Rage Quit here with a double though, so the DPS Taterbots covering for each other very nice. The Deborah takes down Skrillex here. Little bit of chaos on point. The the Immo Field is out. Nano Boost taking full advantage before eating a rock to the face. Lucio and Baltu stall heroes on the point here. Bunny still coming back on the Orisa, not choosing to go over to like a Diva or a Reinhardt, interestingly enough. But the tankiness of the Fortify is going to keep them alive. Bambi taking out Kuro could be the turning point in this fight. Exactly what they needed to keep this going, to keep this stall working, and the spawn advantage is eventually too much. Bambi here rolling through, getting another elimination as Bambi does so well on the ball. We've seen them pull the wrecking ball on the overweight hamster multiple times in the past here, as the Spellbound Tengus with a phenomenal hold are able to continue to burn time off the clock.
Yeah, I do like this swap with the double hit scan. It really did put a lot of pressure on the Far, which made Zero swap. Obviously, the Junkrat's a really good play too, because it's just so much spam coming out the shield. They don't really have much cover to hide behind except for natural cover.
Rage Quit is here with the high noon, not able to find anybody though, and answering back is Skrillex, getting bullet dodges out of this fight. Spellbound Tengus continues to hold on here.
Yes,
the
Spellbound
ball
seem to be
working
finding
here,
their footing.
Sleep Shake, the Wrecking Ball seems to be working out for Bambi and Spellbound Tengus.
Yeah, you know, I think they were struggling a little bit early, the two tanks, with just playing cohesively, playing as a unit, and I was a little bit concerned there at first with the reset and ball, but now that they're in these close quarters and they are working together, you're starting to see Spellbound find their footing.
Oh, a lovely dynamite comes up from Honey Biscuits here, sending 4 to 5 players on fire. The Bob is out as well. We're unable to spectate the Bob here, but Bullet Dodges is forced to use the Sigma hands very quickly and is forced to back out. The Bob eventually gets deleted, as does Bambi, though this will be the turnaround that they needed. The Tire is deployed on the side of Zero, but the Beat is there to match the sound barrier from Nano, who's keeping everybody alive, but Zero is still running around with the Tire and getting a double kill. Skrillex and Pop-Tart both going down. Zero being resurrected as well, so it's just Bambi left to stalking with Bunny behind the cart doing the best to give a little bit of support, but looking pretty good for Taterbots here, CB.
Yeah, I was a bit concerned with them burning 3 ults at once, but it's looking like Bunny is gonna clutch it up at the very end of it, and they hang on for another game.
Bunny with a fortify here getting so much work done. I must say, Sleep Shake, correct me if I'm wrong, but it does look like Bunny looking a lot more comfortable playing main tank than off tank so far.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, it could be early jitters. Who knows what it could be? Maybe some communication issues, but they've definitely seemed to have found their footing between the two tanks. And you can see it. They're playing with confidence, and they've really stabilized this fight.
10 seconds remaining here. Taterbots are going to rely heavily on the flux of bullet dodges to make things work. So the high noon is going out to Rage Quit. The flux only finds Bambi, but that's enough to secure a kill. The bomb is deployed here on the side of Honey Biscuits. A lot of damage being pumped down, but Skrillex is going to be able to take down Zero. Lots of chaos on the point here, as nobody quite going down. Once again, the tankiness of the arena is really so hard to work around. The bongos are committed. Bambi's coming back with mines, slamming down with those hamsters dropping. That could be it for Taterbots. After a fantastic start to this attack, they're unable to keep the momentum going and unable to finish the map. What a hold here, Sleep Shake.
Yeah, absolutely. You know what? I want to also give a shout out to Spellbound's support line. They are doing a really great job. I've seen both of these players now swap off of the map. Each one of them has played it. They're, with one exception, they're using Immortality Field really well. Really doing their jobs. They're doing a great job. And like I said, once those two tanks got together a little better and the team started playing more cohesively, the results speak for themselves. You know, Taterbots were on a roll, and once Spellbound got their feet underneath them, they were able to put together a staunch defense on that corner.
That being said, CB, lots of positive takeaways if you're a Taterbots fan.
Yeah, for sure. They played very, very well up until the very end, but they pushed it so far that, you know, it's very, very winnable, especially, you know, how tough first point can be to break, and, you know, how easy you can hold and recontest on second. It's just, if you're a Tater fan, it's not the end of the world, but you do have to be a bit concerned at how they fizzled out towards the end of that attack. Although I will say I am more proud that I got these lobby settings correct and it is competitive mode.
Happy to have you here, CB. Honey Biscuits, though, onto the Echo off the hit scan. I don't think that's something I've seen before, so it will be super interesting to see how this works out. Honey Biscuits, of course, if you're a good hit scan player, your mechanics are definitely no slouch, so I'm going to be a little bit optimistic here and be a little bullish. I think Honey Biscuits is going to do some damage here on the Echo. A big volley of sticky bombs onto the backline in a super aggressive position. He's taking so much damage from Rage Quit, and Zero is going to collapse on them. Skrillex is on a bit of an interesting flank as they wrap around all the way behind No Mercy Pocket in sight, and is now going to start to rain down a lot of damage onto that backline. So defenseless. Honey Biscuits collapsing onto Dabarella as well after Skrillex has done all the heavy lifting. The focusing beam doing so much damage for heroes to half health. Skrillex here getting so much work, and the flank around was everything they needed here, CB.
Yeah, on paper it looks like this is going to be a very good defense because you just have double hit scan to deal with this. You're thinking you're fine, you know, Mercy, Echo, Pharah, there's no way, right? But then you go on this wild flank and it's just insane the amount of value you're just able to correct, you're just able to create from just such a distraction. It's very, very nice.
Ooh, Rage Quit and Zero here combining for a lovely kill onto Honey Biscuits. That's exactly what you want to hear. You want to see your hits kind of coordinated their attacks, and Rage Quit finding another kill onto the Aretha as well. Skrillex under a lot of pressure from Rage Quit is forced to duck behind the cover of the castle here. This is going to be a pretty tough point to push through here, Sleep Shake.
Yeah, you know, I thought they did a great job there on the first point, going double fly along with the double shield. Double shield brings a lot of attention to that choke, while your double fly can go up and take off angles. But I am interested in seeing what they do here, because this is going to be a pretty tough section of the map to run double fly with all this, you know, high ground, and they've got double hit scan on the other side. But look at this, they're doing a little bit of pushing here.
Honey Biscuits is going to be taken down here, and oh no, Skrillex, we watched that happen live on stream as well. Unable to get in the way of all that damage. Honey Biscuits here with the focusing being unable to get too much done either. Getting stuck on the wall, that might just spell death for Honey Biscuits as well. Great cleanup coming here from the Tater bot, CB. This looks like a pretty healthy place to be holding if you're a defending team.
Yeah, absolutely nasty flux coming from Bullet Dodgers to clutch that up. Able to catch 3 in that, and they clean up the kills, and also is able to get 2 more exit kills, so really got a 5k in that fight, so excellent signal play right there.
Switch over onto the Hanzo now on the side of Skrillex. Honey Biscuits has been the mishap here with the bombs. The duplication here is going to be key into Honey Biscuits sneaking over up onto the high ground, looking behind the enemy team. Is it the Sigma? Is it the Ash? We know Honey Biscuits going for a comfort pick onto the McCree. Canceling a resurrection immediately. That's the power a DPS star like Honey Biscuits brings to you. The high noon is ready to go. They let it rip. Do they find any kills? And that's a kill onto Zero and a double onto Bullet Dodgers. Great work here from Honey Biscuits. A flashbang onto Kuro is going to help Bambi clear that out as well. Exactly what you need from your DPS stars, Sleep Shake.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, I'm a little surprised to see Tater bots remove themselves from the high ground. They had 4 or 5 members up there at the beginning of the fight, and it seems like when Spellbound decided to take over the high ground, they won that fight, and they're so close now to getting point 2.
So Rage Quit is going to take out Honey Biscuits here. That Echo is going to punish for their previous crimes. Both tanks online here for Snow and Tengus, but it looks like they're a little bit outmatched here. It's just the Batiste and Pop-Tart trying to keep everybody alive, and they're both getting quite low. Nano Boost arriving too little too late though. Nano Boost flying into the enemy team, maybe just hoping for an early and quick reset, and they are granted that brisk death that they wished for. CB, a lot of ults coming online here for the defending team.
Yeah, you have so much to work with. You have the supercharger with the flux and the high noon. That's a great combo. Or you can even just use high noon window and save the flux, save the supercharger. It's just you have so many options here to work with, and the Bob coming online too very shortly. I mean, this should be free, right? This should be a free hold right here, right?
That's what you're hoping for here, yeah, but we have been proven wrong here. Gabriella here now with the bongos ready to go. The flux is about to be deployed from Bullet Dodgers. They're all grouped up. It's now or never, but Bullet is going to hang on to that for a little longer, but Skrillex is going to get them killed. Zero now with a kill on the Honey Biscuits as well. We're looking relatively even on both teams. Now that the ammo field is faded out, Bullet Dodgers is going to let that rip. A great rock coming out to keep everybody in check here. Oh, a lovely little app matrix coming out from Kuro. That's going to be so much damage being dumped to that narrow choke, and Zero makes no hesitation to take full advantage of that. Like CB said, Sleep Shake, this was always going to be a pretty tough ask for Spellbound Tengus to push through, but what's going to hurt the most is the amount of ultimates that they invested to make that work.
Absolutely,
or actually, or not at all, to not make it work.
Yeah. Taterbots did seem to be taking the high ground there for a moment. They've now retreated, but you gotta wonder, okay, this time it seems like they're going around. It seemed like maybe huddling up in that little room there was a recipe for disaster.
Yeah, not quite sure what that was ever going to achieve, especially running into the Sigma, but now they're going to run a more conventional pathing here, but Zero is going to take down Skrillex nice and early on. Rage Quit with a super aggressive bomb here placed into that backline. Honey Biscuits just to stare the bomb down until they kneel over. Really, really good hold yet again coming up from the Tater bots. It is do or die here, CB.
Yeah, the Hanzo tried to get a little aggressive with the Mercy and take out the Mercy McCree combo, but you know McCree of course has that flashbang to just stop them in their tracks, hit the headshot on the Hanzo, clean out the Mercy as she tries to get away, and it's just that was just such a great play. No Mercy, no res. We'll see how they go about this little push right here.
Rage Quit being caught in position here though, getting under 60 health, but is going to get healed up eventually. Zero is going to get a kill with the Deadeye, and the Am Matrix is deployed. Skrillex though with a great volley of Storm Arrows, and then a Dragon's here to match. We have Bullet Dodgers here with the Flux, slamming everybody down but not finding any kills. Bambi and Buddy are both going to be solo with just Pop-Tart trying to come back on the Lucio to try to keep everybody alive. Eventually it's just Honey Biscuits left. Can they touch the card and trigger more overtime? Yes, they can. Pop-Tart is there though, crucially, but is going to get taken down as well. And it does look like it's going to be a win online for the Tater bots. They are 2-0 up here in this first to 3 series. We head over to match point after halftime.
Very, very impressive play from Tater, that is, and you know, they ended up clutching it up. It was a very, very hard-fought one. This could have gone either way, especially with how the attack was going on second at the very beginning. This really could have gone either way. Good hold on second.
And then Sleep Shake, we touched on this briefly during the map, but the heavy investment into that lost fight at the end of point B proved to be the difference maker here.
Yeah, absolutely, I agree. I think that's what ended up costing them. You know, after the momentum they gained from capturing that first point, they looked to be, you know, on the verge of having a role of themselves. They had some challenges, like I've mentioned before, Taterbots controlling high ground, but that didn't matter. They still won the fight. They pushed it. They were so close to capturing point B. I think, you know, I'm still disappointed. I have to wonder what exactly the plan was going through that small room there. You know, the Taterbots were all, they had ults ready, they had the angle, and, you know, Spellbound decided to fight from that small room. They invested a lot, and they were never able to really get it going ever again. So, I'm a little interested to know, you know, what the thinking was from that attack, and we'll see what kind of adjustments they make going forward.
We have a pretty deep bench here for the Taterbots, so I'm sure we're going to get a lot of pretty strong opinions coming out from our chat as to who they should bring in for this map 3. A reminder to those that are new to the league, first of all, join our Discord. We have Nightbot dutifully plugging away with the invite link. It is a first to 3 series, but if a 3-0 happens, we will play out a map 4. MVPs will be discussed and decided at the end of the series. Moving forward here, so we move on to Temple of Anubis. Right after we see Zero get some pretty impressive work done on the Junkrat here, Sleep Shake.
Yeah, oh yeah, Temple of Anubis, especially on defense here, first point. It is an absolute wonderland for Junkrats. You know, feeding up or just farming all kinds of damage in these little rooms. So it'll be interesting to see where the attack comes out. Do they take the left room, or will they go right and try to take high ground?
Looks like we're going to have some substitutions come out on the side of Spellbound. Tengus, Bambi, and Skrillex now. Okay, on the... Oh, sorry. Bunny and Bambi still on the tank line. Skrillex and Honey Biscuits are going to remain, and it looks like Sugar Dead is going to get their first map of the evening to partner Niano Boost for Spellbound Tengus. That's not a name I'm super familiar with seeing here, so I'm super curious to learn a little bit more about what they're going to be able to bring to the table, and if this is going to be start of a reverse sweep. We're just waiting for ratings to come up from both sides here, as it looks like Tater bots are not going to make any substitutions. So it is going to be Bullet Dodgers, Dabarella, Zero, Rage Quit, Second Guess, and Kuro remaining around. On a personal level, I'm a little disappointed not to see Polish come back after doing the things that they did on the Echo. But nonetheless, really happy for Taterbots and their fans here as they right now stare match point down and push forward to secure the win. As we wait for these ready, CB, what are we to expect on Temple of Anubis other than a lot of stellar Junkrat gameplay? Looks like we're just with a bit.
Sorry about the silence. We do have a ready from the side of Tater, so we're waiting on Spellbound.
All right. Goodrich Sleep Shake is making his Overwatch Oasis debut. Actually, I'm glad you're a fan of their work. Sleep Shake, since we're just between maps, you tell us a little bit more about yourself. Let's get your name out there.
Yeah, absolutely. First of all, thank you for having me. Very excited to be here, and looking forward to doing this more and doing this in the future.
Is this your first time doing Overwatch commentary?
Yes, it is.
Well, welcome to the team. We're happy to have you. CB and I have been around a little bit. I joined around February, Marchest in the league, and it's been a pleasure to do commentary and casting work. Much of this chat is familiar with the things I do, so they're definitely going to be really excited to watch me slip up so they can clown on me in Overwatch talk. But I'm glad you're joining us. Really solid map tonight. Even though we're not getting a lot of even though Icon Vault especially was a bit of a washover onto the Tater bots, still some pretty high level Overwatch that we're seeing. Definitely not a stomp.
Yeah, no, and we also have a ready from both teams, so looking like we're ready to get into this.
Wonderful.
Now entering the Temple of Anubis.
Okay, so going into Temple, you see on defense this is you have the high ground of course, but also this is a prime spot to just absolutely cheese your opponent with the Symmetra Torp kind of picks. I don't support it, but you know what? You gotta do what you gotta do to win sometimes.
Absolutely.
Especially if you're in a position where one more map is the end. Like, if you lose, this is it. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised to see maybe some cheese come out.
Yeah, the cheese might be what it takes, and it looks like Spellbound Tengus aren't super settled on their support lineup. Nianabu's finally settling on the Mercy to pocket Honey Biscuits on the Widow, and you know we're going to get lots of first-person camera angles for Skrillex on the Widowmaker. The Ashe Widow is going to be absolutely massive. Zero is going to be under a lot of pressure here, CB.
Oh, we have the swap to Torb, not Widow, but it's still going to provide a lot of pressure onto the Pharah. The turret just reaches so far, and it just does so much damage along with the pocketed Honey Biscuits. Ashe it's going to be disgusting trying to push into this.
Well, I don't think Torb is going to get here on time for the ideal turret placement here. And Honey Biscuits is going to play on this low ground here and try to take this Widow duel instead of sitting up on the high perch that we know hit scans like to spend time on. Already taking some damage. Zero is to be taken down by the turret, so the Skrillex pick onto that Torb is working as far as the Vara goes, but we have the Mercy of Nianabu who's forced to drop down to contest just a little bit. Surprised nobody looked at them to delete that Mercy. Now it's Sugardead's turn to drop onto the map. Honey Biscuits getting a kill, getting that hit scan diff online. Bambi taking down Dabarella, but it might be too little too late as we look to clean up the fight here on Temple of Anubis. A pretty straightforward first push coming out from Taterbots.
Yeah, I'd like to point out a very, very insane play at the beginning. Bambi died initially because of Zero booping everyone off the ground, off that high ground. I'm surprised I didn't see a shield come up earlier, but that was just insane timing on that boop.
That's the stuff that never comes up on the kill feed, but is the catalyst to everything that's worked so far. Spellbound Tengus staring defeat in the face so far. It's going to be a bit of an uphill mountain to climb here, Sleep Shake.
Yeah, I'm not quite sure what it is. It's a bit concerning there. We saw, some lagging there to get to the first point on defense for the second time today now. And, a big highlight of this matchup so far is that Tater bots, like I said, they seem to be ready earlier. They seem to be just one step ahead. And, that doesn't help. If you're trying to beat a team on speed, if you're trying to be first, having players late to the fight is not a good thing.
Dabarella and Kuro both getting crucial picks here. The Ab Matrix in to keep and deter anybody from recontesting. 2 ticks online already. Can anybody touch? Yes, it is. It is Diana who's throwing their body on the line to make that work. Bambi with the mines, though. Kuro is going to be taken out. Great bit of stall here, and they are going to be able to at least, if not stabilize, we need to fight a little bit longer. Bambi with another kill. The Average is not coming out. We have 0 in the air with the barrage. Bambi turning that into a double kill. That ball is getting so much work done here so far, and it looks like Spellbound and Tengus are able to stabilize here and fight another day. A really, really good stall coming out. Bambi getting so much work done as Bunny with a huge presence on the point to make sure everything keeps ticking over. A bit of a upturn in their fortune here, Sleep Shake.
Yeah, absolutely. Bambi with an absolute clutch touch to get the overtime going, drops the mines. Bunny comes in afterwards. They, like I said, these two teams seem to be more competitive than it may seem. It just seems like Spellbound is just a little bit late. I feel like if they show up to fights earlier, if they make what they need to make happen earlier, then this, the scoreline could be a little bit different.
A lot of chaos is being created by Bambi, and remember that overweight hamster now has the hamster droppings online as well. Man's been eating good. The mines are going to come out here in this incredibly narrow choke here, and it is left to, we're leaving Bullet Dodge trying to clear those out. Getting chunked down really low here, but Zero is going to clap back and answer with a flashbang kill of their own. So it looks like Taterbots are going to be able to settle here for just a little bit longer. Just in time for Seth Trollins to join us in chat. We have Kovac at Muffin Pirate here as well. Nice to see you, folks.
Yeah, they're about to push in, but they're about to push in right into a flux. If they flux right here in this little corridor and just rush them right here, this could be very good, but they're going to initiate with the little thing at first.
Bunny picks up 4 with the flux. A lot of bombs going to the backline, but none of them connecting enough to make a kill. The Immortality Field used by both Baptiste, both being taken up pretty quickly. A lot of splash damage coming from Bunny, eating a Fire Strike as well. That is going to be massive. That Sigma is so tanky when those cooldowns are used properly, and Bunny is flexing all of her knowledge that she's able to put forward right now. 100% takes up Rage Quit in the backline as well. Bunny is unstoppable so far on this point B. Defensive kill into Kuro. Zero getting taken down as well. Chasing Bullet Dodges forward and eventually does put a little mercy forward and spare Bullet Dodgers from getting eliminated. Things looking up continually for Spellbound Tengus here, Sleep Shake.
Yeah, I'm actually kind of impressed. This team seems to be dealing with adversity pretty well. There are situations that they get in that can get pretty sticky, and we're seeing, all 6 members of this team really coming together to pull themselves out of bad spots. It's very impressive.
CB, is this going to be a eco push coming out on the side of Taterbots?
Yeah, I would think so. I mean, you could just throw your ults in because they do have so many to burn.
Or you could just get 3 picks. Oh my goodness! Well, great ping coming up from Bullet Dodge to take out Bunny as well. The high noon is there. Did I? No, not necessary to find anybody. Just as I said, eco push. They find 3 vanilla picks in the mid-neutral fight here. Bullet Dodgers with a shatter in tow as well. No need to whip that out either. A great display here from Taterbots after what looks like. After it looked like Spellbound and Tengus were able to rally and, come back here, it looked like Taterbots were going to have an uphill battle to climb, but they clutch it out. The DPS players getting so much work done. Bullet Dodgers with a ridiculous pin, and now Spellbound Tengus is now facing a 90-second time bank, Sleep Shake. What are we expecting here on the attack?
Well, they've got to come out with, the best that they've got, but they can think about the fact that it could have been a lot worse. Taterbots look like they could have racked up a time bank of upwards up to 4 minutes, and they did a great job of, like I said, fighting back when their backs were against the wall and they were facing adversity. They did what they had to do. So you have to wonder what kind of strategy they're going to come out. They know they have to come out aggressive and put up a time bank of their own. We'll see what they bring.
And remember here, chat, if we get a win on Taterbots, that is a match point and a win secured. We will play out a map 4, but Taterbots now know their win condition. Let's hold, let's defend. Let's give up 3 ticks on point A if necessary, but let's keep them in our pockets for point B.
5, 4, 3.
Yeah, it's looking like they're going to be running the Symmetra strat, possibly. You know what? Like I said, cheese is cheese, but hey, you gotta get that dub somehow. Symmetra is a very tricky little thing to attack with, so especially if you TP straight to the high ground right here. Like
Yeah, so Skrillex is going to take this. Yep, exactly like you said. CB struggling to make that TP land. A bit of a glitch coming out, and they're going to take so much damage. Oh my goodness, Sugar Dad's going to get taken out. Skrillex unable to make the teleporter stick, and now they have taken too much damage and are forced to back out. We were spectating Skrillex's POV here the whole time, and for some reason the teleporter just didn't want to land on that ledge. Chat, I don't know if any of you guys have had that happen to you before, but that's not something I've ever seen in all my time of playing and watching Overwatch.
Yeah, if I may, I have taken some time in custom games just exploring the map, trying to see where Symmetra turrets like to stick, and that ledge is particularly tricky. They had the right idea coming out with the Symmetra. I just feel that they might have made a mistake trying to go through the left when they could have gone through the right room and just TP'd onto point.
Well, yeah, just like Dub said, that push just died.
Yeah, and Zero is going to take the Nano Boost as well. The Resurrection is there, but that's a crucial cooldown being burnt nice and early on. And we see Bullet Dodgers just laying in the paint, just bouncing those orbs off the wall for so much free L charge here. As Spellbound Tengus is going to take this high ground and try to stay out of trouble. Not to take too much spam damage before they can engage, and Honeybiscuits gets the great kill onto Zero. Rage Quit is going to get taken down as well. Honeybiscuits getting so much work done here on the Tiger, and now completely unimpeded by DPS or counters, but the Tire is there to take them out. Honeybiscuits is going to pay for their arrogance and their crimes against Taterbots and the kill feed. Bullet Dodge taking down Bambi as well. Skrillex, the great set of minds over onto Kuro here, as Bunny is once again showing us what she can do on that tank line. Big Rock coming out. A Flux is going to be deployed on the side of Bullet Dodgers, slamming Bunny out onto the ground, but the healing is there from Sugar Dead before Rage Quit takes them out, so a little less sustainable. Just the Moira heals left here on the side of Spellbound Tengus as they continue to push forward on to this point here, Sleepshake.
Yeah, you know, Spellbound, they have the right idea. They're answering the problems that they're facing correctly. They just seem to be doing it like I said. They're just one step behind. They're a little slow. The Symmetra strat was the right move. They just didn't go in the right direction. They take high ground on the next fight. They all go in together. Everything looks great, and then they separate a little bit when it's time to drop down onto the point. They're real close.
It looked like a 50-50 fight, but Taterbots were able to clutch that out, which we see a lot of defensive teams do here on the Temple of Anubis, but not on point A. 60 seconds remaining as Spellbound Tengus look to rally back and to make something work. Rage Quit doing lots of barrier damage with that Mercy boost, but able to find any headshots just yet. So Tengus with a bit of a boost here onto the high ground, as Bunny is going to let the... oh no, getting stunned out of the Flux. The Tire is massive from Zero. 30 seconds remaining, and it looks like Spellbound Tengus might have to go for a soft reset before finally pushing on and trying to capture the point in overtime.
30 seconds remaining.
Yeah, and they just took such a long, drawn-out fight in that second fight that it just only left them with about a minute 30 to just take this, and after losing that one, this is going to be brutal. They're going to run into so much spam.
Bambi getting chunked down to half already by a couple great shots from Rage Quit here. As they rush to come touch point, is going to be an absolute playground for Zero to lay in the damage to unsuspecting passerbys. Can they even touch? No, they can't! Taterbots take the point and take the series. 3-0 up now. We will play out a map 4, but Taterbots have secured the win here in the Overwatch Oasis League.
Play of the game.
Yeah, there's just too much time for Taterbots to work with that, Spellbound gave them. It just wasn't feasible especially after that, long drawn out fight that they took to just clutch that up. They just wasted so much time. They didn't reset or pull a soft reset, waited for their fallen ally to come back, and it just really cost them in the end.
So Tengus are going to take the L as Taterbots secured their first win of the season here. Sleep Shake, what went wrong? A couple points. Spellbound looked pretty close to making us sick, but never fully taking advantage of the circumstances.
Yeah, absolutely. A heartbreaking loss. I think in my eyes, these two teams are a lot closer than the scoreline tells us. Ultimately, I think what it comes down to is that Taterbots, they were just slightly more prepared. They were doing what they needed to do just slightly faster than Spellbound. I think Spellbound did a lot of great things in this game. It just either happened too late or, there were minor details that made the fights fall apart. In my eyes, this wasn't a wash of any kind. I think the fights were competitive, the games were competitive. But you got to hand it to Taterbots. They did what they needed to do. They were on top of it, and the story of the game for me is that Taterbots were just one step ahead every time.
Chat, let me know how your fantasy points are coming along. I know lots of you are tuning in for that. I'm curious to see how predictions came out on either side of this. So headed on to Havana, Sleep Shake, bit of a sniper's playground.
Yeah, absolutely. This is one of my favorite maps. I'm really interested in seeing what both teams bring out. The sight lines on this first point give you so many options. You don't necessarily have to go snipes either. You can use the room that's immediately out the door on the left coming out of spawn. You can have a lot of fun in there with maybe a Junkrat. Like I said, it's going to be an interesting match, and we'll see what happens.
And on the side, we have some substitutions coming out on the side of Taterbots. It looks like Ganita was going to come in for Dabarella on that tank line, partnering, I believe, Chipmunk is coming back in. We have Polish, Maka, and both coming in as well for 0 and second. And, second. Polish is confusing me with match chat.
Yeah, I think I got it.
Cool.
It's he wanted Maka in for for second, but he wanted second back in, so I just swapped Kiro out. Yeah, but Havana though is like you said, a sniper's heaven. But Sleep Shake is right. You don't have to run this. But I do think, especially at first and third, you do put yourself at a bit of a disadvantage if you don't. Especially if you're defending and you're attacking into that. You do put yourself at a disadvantage if you're attacking like that. But I'm a big fan of this map, surprisingly, because I know a lot of people don't like this kind of map, especially second.
CB's just a fan of watching the spawn camp.
No, I just love, like, I'm a hit scan main, so this map is, I love this map.
Not quite sure who's going to be taking the plate here at Spellbound Tengus. As far as I recall, I don't think we've seen take the strap in the lineup so far this evening. So if there was ever a time to try her out and introduce her to the team in a gentle and safe manner, map 4 might just be it. Not that map 4s don't matter, right? Because they still definitely come into the map count, but relatively lower stakes compared to a series opener. So we'd be curious to see if Taylor Strap gets some game time tonight. I believe on the support role, we already have seen some changes. We have Nianobu, Sugar Dad, and Pop Tart rotating throughout the series. We have Polish coming back in on Tater bots. Sleep Shake, are we expecting another Echo Masterclass, or how does that work on Havana? What are we thinking?
You know, that'd be really exciting to see, but if we are expecting some hit scans, maybe some snipers, could they challenge them this time? You know, they did bring out the hit scan on Ilios on that first map, and Polish seemed to deal with it very well on that map. And you have to wonder, you know, if he brings it out this time, will he be able to find the escapes? Will he be able to find, you know, the cover to keep away from those hit scans?
So it doesn't look like there's going to be a huge amount of substitutions here on the side of Spellbound Tengus. I believe all we're going to see is Pop-Tart coming back in over Sugar Dead. Not a super hefty bench tonight, so no drastic changes for Spellbound Tengus as we head into map 4. Thanks for waiting through these slightly longer wait times between maps. We're just trying to make sure the teams get everything correct, and then sometimes the substitutions take a couple minutes to come in. If you have any feedback about me doing camera work for like the second time ever, please let me know. Honestly, chat, it's kind of melting my brain. Doing camera work and doing play-by-play commentary at the same time is kind of the worst thing I've ever done to myself, but I'm having fun. So don't hesitate to dampen my spirits and tell me all the stuff that I'm doing wrong.
I think you're doing a fine job, even though I cannot see what's going on.
Yes, CB, blind support and validation. That is what you need from your color casting team. Once again, I am Charles, joined by Cinnamon Biscuit and Sleep Shake here as we head on to Havana. Not quite sure what the defense is going to pull out just yet. Sleep Shake, we've seen Spellbound Tengus be a little late to decide coming out of spawn.
Ready for battle.
Yeah, and you wonder, maybe, you know, this is the map where they put those struggles to the side.
Yeah, everybody in chat hoping for a stronger display. We have Skrillex and Honey Biscuits choosing the Torb or Widow damage lineup. Not quite sure what the tank lane is going to roll out here. We got 20 seconds remaining unless you're going with like a ball Reinhardt. Somebody's going to be late to point here. A little bit concerned here so far. The Orisa is a relatively slower hero despite having twice the amount of legs as a lot of other heroes do. Pop-Tart and the Ana Boost might just be a little bit late to setting up an ideal hold here.
3, 2, 1.
Also, for this season, it's Cold Basket because, you know, it's Christmas season.
Fair enough. Cold Basket is here joining us, the renamed and improved. Okay, so a sniper duel coming out. Polish and Honey Biscuits are to face off here. Honey Biscuits with the first shot and is going to miss. Immediately being pressured out by Rage Quit here, and a quick bit of healing coming out from Pop-Tart to keep everybody healthy and alive. So much pressure onto Honey Biscuits. That Doomfist is relentless, and Honey Biscuits maybe just a little bit sheepish to take any high ground positions here. We see Polish playing pretty safe as well. A shot glancing across their face, taking this high ground now. A free shot onto Honey Biscuits, and that's the first kill. But Skrillex is going to manage to avenge them. So both Widows out of play here. Skrillex is going to use that turret to the maximum effect. Second guessing with a great kill onto Bambi as well, though. Some Zenyatta gameplay is what we love to see here. As a second now has their Transcendence now online.
I love this look with the Doomfist. It's a very interesting idea to run on Havana, especially when you know you're running into a Widow. If you know your Doomfist is good enough to contest that, I mean, fair play, go for it. Great job so far.
So Polish we see getting set up at this choke here, going to be a little bit difficult for Spellbound Tengus to push forward without taking too much damage, given the things that we know Polish is able to do on the DPS roll. Oh, a lovely shot coming out, just missing the Ana Boost, and the Ana Boost is going to force to back up here to take a little less damage, and Honey Biscuits is now onto the Sombra, interestingly enough, and is going to hack out this mini, going to get the kill onto Polish to secure this high ground. The Sombra against the Doomfist is going to be massive here, Sleep Shake.
Yeah, to me though, it looks like, you know, that first point reminds me a lot of what we saw on Eichenwald. Spellbound, they were late to the choke, And, you know, when they had an opportunity to hold space, Taterbots just pushes forward with so much aggression, and Spellbound gave them all the space they needed to fortify that push.
Alright, Skrillex was punched out of the Molten Core there, and Honey Biscuits was slept out of invisibility. 2 bits of great play coming out from Taterbot. Chipmunk is going to shatter into the shield, but you shatter to break shields, my friend. Chipmunk and Polish getting a kill apiece, as we have Ganito is going to clean up the Diana boost as well. I don't think a touch is going to be possible here, as Spellbound Tengus are going to be forced to defend here in phase 3 of Havana. Chat, what do we call this phase? So we have the opening phase, we have point A, we have Foundry. What's the name here? Do we call this Streets? Is this Castle? What's going on?
I think this one's Castle.
Yeah?
That's what I call it.
Is it Streets, Foundry, then Castle, or Warehouse? Is that what we're going with here, Sleep Shake?
What's that now?
Is this what we're going with? Are we calling this bit Castle and the first bit Streets? Is that what's going on?
Yeah, I like that.
Fair enough. An odd animatrix coming up from the Boost. Rageman and Polish getting a kill apiece as well. Maka being pressured here by the Sombra, who is going to be pushed out here as Honey Biscuits is forced to drop up, but not after getting a lovely pick onto Polish here.
I will keep you healed.
Yeah,
here with the Nano Boost online as well.
Yeah, I'm not really a big fan of this Sombra pick, but because to me it's not finding much value to contest that Doomfist, but it is finding a couple picks here and there on the Widowmaker, so it might be worth it. That, and I think Sombra is a very dishonest hero, so maybe that's just a bias. So we'll see.
Speaking of dishonest heroes, Honey Biscuits now with the EMP offline and is going to pressure out Polish, taking them down. The mechanics and tracking, they're absolutely gorgeous. The Molten Core is going to be committed by Skrillex as well, and that looks like a pretty straightforward win here. Maybe you're hoping to hang on to the Molten Core here if you are on the side of Tengus, but you know, hindsight's 2020, and Skrillex better safe than sorry. The key here is they hang on to the EMP. They only commit, if I'm not mistaken, they only commit the Molten Core to make it work. And Honey Biscuits able to get 2 assassinations in the mid-fight. The hack is to come out, and they do manage to get into trouble here. Ganito is going to be hacked up and unable to do much here. Skrillex with a great shot, barely missing Rage Quit on the Doomfist. Bambi is here with the Shatter, getting so much work done. The Trans is forced out by second guess here. A great pin from Chipmunk. Honey Biscuits now taking a duel against the Doomfist, hacking them back up again, hoping for a huge EMP to make this work.
Yeah, it's looking like it's all over. Maybe the Sombra can touch here, try to EMP, Hail Mary it, but no,
the EMP never comes
out.
interestingly enough. It's been held on for 2 fights in a row here, Sleep Shake.
Yeah, like I said, you know, it's the story of this match so far. They're doing what they need to do to contend, but they're just a step behind. They made the good switch onto the Ryan and the Zarya, but I think it was too little, too late.
Yeah, perhaps they're saving that EMP for the attack. We'll see.
Yeah, with you folks. It works. It works next round. Do not pass go. Do not collect $200.
Oh, if only.
I'm not quite sure whether to switch the hold to the EMP there for 3 fights in a row. Like I said, that's a game-changing EMP, and can win you maps and fights, but just not enough there from Spellbound Tengus, unfortunately. They looked pretty clean at the first phases of Castle. They were able to burn a lot of time off there, make up for relatively weak defense on point A and B, but not enough here. So Taterbots are going to have 2.5 minutes of time in the bank.
Yeah, I think the... yeah, I see it. Oh no. But I do think it was a little bit of trying to focus a bit too much on the Widowmaker, because as soon as the Widow goes down, you saw that the entire rest of Spellbound just happened to be collapsed on and died before the Sombra could even get back an EMP. So I think it was really just a timing and targeting kind of thing. Probably should have played a bit more with the team, but you know, of course, hindsight is 2020. I do like this double hit scan look for Taterbots right here. It should be very, very hard to push through.
Rage is going to take this duel, not against Honeybusiness, but against Skrillex this time. We've got two very competent hit scan players here on Spellbound Tengus, each able to lay in the heat. Ragehood here is going to play on the ground, forced off the high ground here by Skrillex. We're going to get some card progress here, and Ragehood is going to play pretty safe, playing positions that are pretty hard to dive. Speaking of, the monkey comes in and deletes Skrillex. Honeybiscuit's getting a kill onto Ragehood as well. Bambi is going to hold down this front line. This dive composition looking pretty optimistic so far, but maybe too little too late. Polish getting a double kill onto Honeybiscuits first, and then Bambi second here. Sleep Shake.
Yeah, well, the dive look is great, you know, dealing with the Widow here on high ground and their snipers in general. But my question is, how are they going to deal with this tank line? Because this Ryan and Zarya, they're able to take space at will. They're playing very aggressive and they're not being punished for it. So I have to wonder how this this Monkey Diva composition is going to deal with their Ryan Zarya.
What I've seen so far in the past two fights is that the tank line, oh, great shot here from Polish. Oh, a double kill onto Skrillex. The storm arrows are there as well. Polish pays for the arrogance, but is rewarded with the double kill. Like you said here, Sleep Shake, a lot of times we're seeing the dive come out onto Chipmunk and onto Ganito as Honeybiscuit collapses on Polish and Maka, and the split dive is never the way to go here.
Yeah, it really isn't. Plus, you know, as soon as you get those tanks in the back line, it's like they could just easily push up into the rest of the team. It's not ideal, and Honeybiscuit is the first to fall.
Oh, a lovely shot coming out from Chipmunk. Oh, but the pin is going to end up on the ledge. The stairs are going to save everybody's lives here. Chipmunk here is going to be nanoed, facing off against a primal raging monkey, ignoring the pulse bomb, just walking forward left to see a Chipmunk swinging away on point here. Skrillex is going to be taken down. See, we have to grab online with the dragons. You assume that's win condition, yes?
Yeah, absolutely. I'm really trying to see, you know, what Spellbound is trying to do here with this dive, because it seems like these dives are disjointed and there's no follow-up. So we get some dives on the back line, onto the DPS, but there's no follow-up from the team, it looks like.
Alright, you need to just take a break here and hide away. Second guess is going to be taken out. The grab is going to come out, and the dragons are going to follow as well. Polish getting a triple kill with the dragons. Can you take out Honeybiscuits on the Sombra as well? Not quite, but you're not going to die, which is a huge bonus. Less than a minute remaining on Honeybiscuits with the EMP. Only time will tell if they hold on to it like they did on the defensive fight. Here, CB.
That was a huge misplay by Bunny and Honeybiscuits. That I don't know what happened there. They launched the Diva Bomb, did catch one, but Honeybiscuits was right in the backline with the MP ready to go and just didn't, you know, launch it out. Maybe they thought it wasn't the time to use it, but that was pretty optimal. They could have gotten to 3, maybe even 4K with that. Everyone was caught out behind the Rhine Shield.
Bambi's taking so much damage. Honeybiscuit's totally set up and ready to go here, but Nano Boost is going to get picked up as well. With 3 ultimates online, the rally's going to be committed first. Spellbound Tengus are going to have to press the go button sooner or later. Honeybiscuit's decloaks. The EMP is massive. Picks up 4. That is fantastic work. This could be the change that they needed. Nano Boost with a kill onto Polish as well. The trance is committed here on the set of second. Gets the Transcendence, keeping everybody alive. Ganito, I believe, is extremely high charge right now. Chipmunk taking a lot of damage as we zoom in here with Ganito, getting so much work done here on the Zarya, taking out Pop Chart as well. Tater bots are in to hold on here. A point A, basically a full hold here on Havana, are going to secure them the point, secure them the map, and secure them the win. Honeybiscuit's just stalling off a little bit longer. I don't think anybody else can touch, and Tater bots are going to take the series 4-0 here in the Overwatch Oasis League.
Yeah, that was a very, very clean defense from them. Like I said, there was a bit of... I think the Sombra wasn't the play after a while, because the communication between the Sombra and the rest of the team just felt off. Like, it just felt like something wasn't right, and oh my gosh, I saw the emo. Oh, that's disgusting.
So yeah, I think Spellbound missed an opportunity to come out with Ryan Zarya, and they chose to come out and dive instead.
Yeah, the dive. Once again, the dive itself, it was not the issue. It was the execution that I had some question marks over. Just a little bit of an update and a refresher for those of you who may have forgotten how MVPs work in the Overwatch Oasis League stream team, the desk. So myself, CB, and Sleep Shake here are going to decide a tank MVP, a DPS MVP, and a support MVP. We will be taking nominations from either team. Those are suggestions and not hard rules for us, and there isn't a restriction on how many players we need to pick on each team. I would like to start off by giving a big shout out to Bullet Dodgers and Zero. I think they had some absolutely fantastic performances tonight.
Yeah, for sure, 100%. Bullet Dodgers was a little bit slept on, actually, I feel. The Sigma play was absolutely massive. I mean, we saw that firsthand. Uh, Coming on the Eichenwald map, and of course Zero with the Pharah, and of course the Pharah was just absolutely massive on Temple, and Ilios as well, I should say. I do like Polish as well, being up there, because every time they were in, it was just a game changer.
I agree. Polish only playing map 1 and map 4, but getting so much work done. So it sounds like Polish and Zero are both pretty high on the list as well. And on the support lineup, what are we thinking? I thought Maka had a pretty good series.
Yeah, same. Both the Mercy gameplay for both teams was pretty solid. Not too many huge outstanding plays coming from anyone really, except Maka, I would say, because the Ana gameplay on Havana was just insane. It was just finding pick after pick, and so was the Mercy gameplay. I mean, everything that you could ever ask for was just all right there, laid out in front of us.
Yeah, and for me, even though it was a losing effort, you know, I'd like to highlight a player from Spellbound. I think Nyanoboost did a really great job on a lot of those maps.
Waiting for some nominations to come through here now. Looks like. Yeah, just waiting for the nominations here as the season just started, so not all the captions are super up to date with how the process works. Waiting for Taterbots to nominate some players as well.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, I'm not super up to date with this either. Especially since this is my first cast in a very long time.
Well, welcome back,
feels good to be
I'm
back.
happy to have you.
Feels good
Our
to be
partnership
back.
goes back a little bit. Sleep Shake, honestly, like, sorry for seeing this on stream, but I'm super impressed with how you've done, considering this is your debut.
Yeah, same.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, it's a great start for me. I look forward to improving, making this a craft just like the game itself.
Happy to hear that. I think good. I mean, this is a circle jerk now because there's the three of us talking about how important we think good commentary is. But yeah, no, this I think is one of the more fun things to do with esports. And honestly, I get more joy out of doing this than competing. So thank you everybody for tuning in. Not quite sure Taterbots are going to be able to lay down any suggestions and nominations here. So I believe we feel pretty good on Bullet Dodgers. We feel pretty good on Zero. With a special shout out to Polish. Any ideas on the support line?
Well, Tater gave out a couple. They said Honey and Nano.
I see. Yeah. How do we feel about the support lineup?
I think Maka was just absolutely like popping. Nano, of course, had a great game as well. But I mean, you just saw the kill feed being lit up with the Mercy and the Ana, and I mean, just kept the team alive. I mean, there's a reason why in this chat right now they're giving a shout out to King, Ganito King. They said the Zarya that never dies, and I think a part of that has to do with, one, the bubble timings were great, and two, the supports were just on point, keeping the Zarya just healthy, making sure that the Zarya at full charge just doesn't suddenly get melted. So,
Yeah.
Great job.
Quick shout out also, if I could piggyback on that, Ganito King on that first push there on attack, built Grav very, very, very rapidly.
Yeah, no, fair. It's tough with Taterbots today because it wasn't a pop-off performance. It was a very well-rounded and measured team performance there, which I think is extremely impressive, and hats off to them. It's these kind of measured and calculated dominant performances that really take your team really far in the season because you can't always count on your DPS to pop off, but you can always count on your teamwork and your synergy to come through, and that's what we saw from Taterbots today. So a great series of Overwatch ends with the Taterbots taking Spellbound Tengus 4-0 here in the Overwatch Oasis League. Taterbots secured their first win of the season. My name is Charles Tang, joined tonight by Mr. Cinnamon Biscuit and Sleep Shake. Thank you so much for tuning in, and good night.